Hey everybody, welcome back. I am really excited today to share this little thing that I've created for you. I've wanted to actually make this for a long time, but I wasn't sure if it would work. But it seems like it's working, and so you'll get to play with this today. This is a little car. You can see it kind of driving around, and it is actually driving itself. It is making decisions. Not always the right ones, but it is driving itself around this track. And you are gonna work with this today and learn a little bit about autonomous driving, but also neural networks and how good or not good they might be. So I'm gonna stop this as it veers off the road and show you a little bit about how this works. So what you're gonna do is I've given you the link to this, and you are gonna open up that link. Before you do anything, let me just show you real quick. Let me copy the link. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on that link. You're going to see something like this. And don't start changing anything yet. I want you to instead go to login and then log in with your Google account, because this will actually create a P5JS ID for you using your school email, and then you'll be able to save the sketches as you play around with them. And that's going to be really important. So make sure you do that. But I've already started with this one. I'll just show you how it works. So when you hit the play button, it starts driving, and you can use the steering wheel right here to tell the car what to do. And so I am not great at this, especially while I'm being recorded. I'm guessing you're going to be pretty good at figuring this out. And so I just want you to drive around a bit. So you drive around, get good at this, practice, and take a video of your performance once you're pretty good. So get good at this, take a video of your performance. So you're going to do all of that. And so I'm going to stop this for a moment, because what you're then going to do as you're going about this is you're going to look at the video of your performance. And the reason I want you to now look at the video of your performance is I've actually added these images up here. Those are sensors built into this little virtual car. And so they are showing the distance on the left, distance from the front sensor, and distance from the right. And so you can see those values changing over time as you kind of drive it around. And the reason I want you to record your performance is that right now, as I'm driving and getting a sense of how well this works, it's kind of hard to notice what's happening both with the car and with those sensors. We're looking in different places. So I want you to be able to look at what those sensors are doing as you're driving the car around, but I want you to do it just from the video so that you can get a sense of what's happening there. It's a little hard to do everything all at once. So you're going to do that. Once you get a sense of what those sensors are doing, I then want you to try to drive around using just those sensors. See if you can do it. See if you can just ignore what the car is doing and just look at those changing sensors in the middle of the track and see if you can figure out how to drive it. The next thing, after you have played around with this, after you have done some driving and you can do a few good laps, once you had a good record and you've made a few good laps, and I'm talking a few, so maybe 2 to 3 laps, driving it however you want. And again, I'm talking as I'm driving, which when you're driving a real car is not always the best thing to do either. But anyways, once you've done that and you're ready and you think you've done this pretty well, I want you to hit the T key. And so the car is going to freeze, as it did here. And what the system is now doing is it is actually taking those sensor values and it is using them to train the neural network. So if you look on the screen right now, as you are driving, it is collecting data about the left sensor, the front sensor, and the right sensor. And it's also taking a look at the steering value that you are putting in as you're driving it around. And so it's doing all of this and trying to understand the patterns. And so when you hit the T, it's going to train the network using that input data. Once it's done training, as you can see it is right now, it's going to drive itself. So you can see, based on my not so good driving, yeah, not so good. But it's now making decisions by itself on what to do based only on those 3 sensor values. And so you can kind of understand what it's doing. Again, maybe if I did a better job, it wouldn't drive off the track like that. But it's really interesting to kind of see what it's doing. And it's making decisions based on what you have told it to do. And so I want you to think a little bit about how it knows to turn, how it knows, how it makes decisions about what to do in driving in the lanes, and comment on all of that. Post it in a Flipgrid video on the link that's on PowerSchool Learning. So your job is to play around with this, get good at driving, train a neural network, and ultimately do some reflecting on what you think the neural network is doing. Last thing, when you have this neural network doing a pretty good job, and mine is not doing a pretty good job, if you hit the S key, it will actually save your neural network to your drive. And I want you to save those files because we're going to be using those in some other situations in the future. So when your neural network is working pretty good, all things considered, I want you to save your neural network by hitting the S key, and then you're done. So train your neural network, watch it drive, try to understand what it's doing, post a message to Flipgrid trying to understand why your neural network is making decisions the way it is, and then save that neural network for future use. Have some fun with this. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you will too. Have a great day, everybody.